From the moment that William Saliba signed in 2019, his Arsenal career has been full of plenty of drama. From not making a single first team appearance to winning the Ligue 1 Young Player of the Year, he's thrived on loan at Marseille and doubts over his future have been persistent. But is today the day where the rumours finally get put to bed? What do we also have from Fabrizio Romano on the future of Gabriel Jesus? Is Gianluca Scamacca a serious target for the Gunners? And has Yves Bissouma hinted at a potential summer switch to the Emirates? Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Baz14 and welcome back to your boys channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Don't forget to smash a like on the video if you enjoy the content and subscribe to the channel if you are new. 2k away from the big 90k. You guys are absolutely sensational. But getting into that Arsenal news and starting off with the future of William Saliba. The player has had a tremendous season on loan at Marseille and he's helped them back into the Champions League, finishing second place in Ligue 1. In the process, he's won the Ligue 1 Young Player of the Year. He's made the Ligue 1 Team of the Season. He was nicknamed the Mbappe of centre-backs and now he's a full French international starting for France and having a serious chance of making the World Cup squad in Qatar. With Marseille qualifying for the Champions League, him making the France squads, he needs to have guaranteed first team minutes. And at Arsenal, with the likes of Gabriel and Ben White, as great as Saliba will become, he isn't a guaranteed starter, and that's not a bad thing by the way. With Mikel Arteta already making it clear he wants Saliba to return to the Emirates Stadium. Was that enough to bring Saliba back to the Emirates Stadium to fend off the interest from Marseille, fend off the Champions League, and for him to return to the Emirates Stadium? Well, today my friends, we have a very important interview from Telefoot in France, where William Saliba has revealed and officially confirmed, I belong to Arsenal Football Club and I still have 2 years left. I will be back with Arsenal. I have played 0 matches and I still want to show them that I can play for these fans and this great club. Here we go, officially confirmed, bish bash bosh, William Saliba is returning to the Emirates Stadium straight from the horse's mouth. And I won't lie to you guys, it is absolute music to my ears because I was starting to get scared at one point. He's in the Champions League with Marseille, he's a guaranteed starter, and to maximise his chances of playing for the France squad, he had to be guaranteed first team minutes. But even though that isn't the case at Arsenal Football Club, I think Saliba understands with the talent and the ability that he has. He believes in himself to come to the Emirates to fight for a first team place and gain a first team place as well. He was a very exciting player when Arsenal signed him back in 2019 when he cost £30 million having played half a season. But looking at that price tag now with the standard that this guy has set, it looks like an absolute bargain. Because here is what Arsenal will be getting. During the 2021-22 season, Saliba made 2,834 passes, breaking the most ever of a Ligue 1 record. The most possessions won at 260, the most progressive carries at 558, the most successful dribbles by a centre-back with 31, and the Ligue 1 Young Player of the Year. He's coming back as almost a brand new signing and he's not going to cost Arsenal anything more than what they paid back in 2019. But if Arsenal were to have signed him in this transfer window, we're talking upwards of 60-70 million pounds of what he'd be costing. The fact that he was playing at that level of a high standard in what was his first and only so far season of being a full regular starter. As EBL points out, Saliba is as close to a sure thing as you are ever going to get. He will go toe to toe with any forward. He's willing to take responsibility by demanding the ball in the build up and is a leader. Plus is one of the best technicians in the game. He's elite physically, mentally and technically. But you know what the next step for Arsenal is going to be? Let's now secure the long-term future of William Saliba because yes, he's coming back to the Emirates Stadium, but he's only got 2 years left on his Arsenal contract. With the level of potential, with the amount of potential and the current level that this player is playing at, I am sure that if Arsenal don't wrap up his future, a lot of the elite European clubs will be watching very closely. So Arsenal now have to be careful, secure his long-term future at the Emirates Stadium, and then we can have a lot of fun with the Mbappe centre-backs at the heart of Arsenal Football Club. But now that Saliba has confirmed his Arsenal return, my friends, talk to me about your own thoughts down below in the comments, and do you think come the start of next season he is going to be an Arsenal starter? On to the transfer news and starting off with Gabriel Jesus. As Fabrizio Romano says that Arsenal are leading the race for him for a long time because of his Brazilian connection with Edu Gaspar. Gabriel Jesus is leaving Man City this summer. Fabrizio assures the Arsenal fanbase, despite interest from the likes of Tottenham Hotspur and other clubs in the Premier League, Arsenal Arsenal remain in pole position to secure the services of Mr. Gabriel Jesus. Football Insider go as far as saying that Jesus has already agreed personal terms with Arsenal, settling terms of a lucrative long-term deal that will see him land a major pay rise. It is believed that Jesus has told his friends he is eager to link up again with Mikel Arteta. This transfer does look like it's closing into a solution, and for Arsenal having offered him up to nearly £200,000 a week reportedly, alongside working once again with Mikel Arteta, I just do not see Jesus rejecting that. Even Rodrigo Oliveira, a reporter from Brazil, has confirmed that Arsenal are reportedly very close to luring Jesus to the Emirates, although they will be expected to fork over 50 to 60 million euros. Look, it's a very hefty price tag that I'm sure a lot of Arsenal fans aren't fully convinced upon, but the most important thing here is the Arsenal manager certainly is. Alongside Edu Gaspar, it seems like Jesus is a player that Arteta and Edu are really pushing for. And as we saw in the last summer transfer window, when Mikel Arteta wants a player, so you got your Aaron Ramsdales, Ben White, Takehiro Tomiyasu's, he has a very specific profile and is very stubborn on the players that he wants to sign, and it seems like that is once again the case with Gabriel Jesus. But saying that, there might just be one little spanner in the works here, because one massive gargantuan team, the champions of Europe, have also thrown their hat into the ring. As according to Anton Mina, Real Madrid like Gabriel Jesus, but his non-EU passport complicates a possible deal. Can Arsenal just ever sign a player in peace and quiet? Just leave us alone, Real Madrid. You might want Serge Gnabry, but give us Gabriel Jesus at least. And with them not signing Kylian Mbappe and also losing Gareth Bale, they're going to have to strengthen their front line, and Jesus kind of does make sense for them, but of course I still think Arsenal remain the favourites. Arsenal have really progressed the deal, and as long as the player is convinced that Arsenal is the club for him, especially with its international duties now basically over, I fully expect a transfer, if it is to happen to Arsenal, to progress very quickly over the next few weeks. But Arsenal also have to keep their options open, and according to reports in Italy, Gianluca Scamacca is one of the first alternatives to Brazilian Gabriel Jesus, who remains the Arsenal priority. In terms of centre forwards, he is one of the most unique profiles in world football as it stands, and Arsenal do have genuine interest. But according to Gazzetta dello Sport, Sassuolo have rejected a €40 million bid from Arsenal, and the Italians want around €50 million. And even when the Sassuolo CEO was asked on the Arsenal rumours, he says there's nothing concrete yet for Scamacca, just some contacts with some clubs. Of course, after playing with the national team, the interest is now growing. The fact that he's not denied the Arsenal rumours, and the fact that Arsenal of course have spoken to Sassuolo in the past, back in the transfer saga of Manuel Locatelli, Arsenal have an existing contact there, and it looks like Arsenal are looking at Scamacca as a serious player if they don't secure Gabriel Jesus. I actually kind of think his profile of that goal scoring target man type of striker is more what Arsenal require than a Gabriel Jesus. He'd be of a similar price tag that Arsenal could certainly pay, and also not be on massive wages. But my concern here isn't the player himself. My concern here is Italian players don't like to leave Italy. But in saying that, according to Fabrizio Romano, Inter Milan are not working to sign Gianluca Scamacca despite the rumours. Now that is going to be pivotal, because in terms of Italian clubs that can actually afford and attract Scamacca, the rest of the Italian giants all have their big strikers, so there is not necessarily a need to sign a Scamacca. I don't see him staying at Sassuolo, and the price tag seems to be set around €50 million. It is something that Arsenal could pay, so my friends, despite me still being skeptical and still having that high PTSD from Locatelli and Dusan Vlahovic, are Arsenal finally going to be able to get a player out of Italy? We're going to have to wait and see. According to Marca, Real Madrid are not interested in Serge Gnabry. Ho, that could be massive. That is massive, because what you have there is Arsenal's biggest reported competition in Real Madrid. But according to a fairly reliable Real Madrid source, Real Madrid are not in the running for Serge Gnabry. I still have to see other German sources confirm this as well, and Fabrizio Romano, but if this isn't to be the case, and Real Madrid really aren't in the race to sign Serge Gnabry, then Arsenal might just become the favourites. I say that because so far there aren't any other clubs that have rumoured interest, and Arsenal are the only other team that have been confirmed. Arsenal of course can afford his wages and afford the player himself, and I kind of feel like if Arsenal are targeting Gabriel Jesus as their main profile, with him not being the out and out goal scorer, signing a proven world class goal scoring winger like a Serge Gnabry, it does make a lot of sense. But I'm smiling because I'm still not sure about it. I don't want to believe, it's too good to be true. But as I have always said, that if Real Madrid don't sign Serge Gnabry, then maybe a possibility of an Arsenal transfer might become more likely. But as always, let's just keep an eye on it and wait and see for further developments. And moving on to the other Arsenal transfer targets. One player that has seemed to come out of nowhere in terms of Arsenal rumours, and a player that Arsenal seem to have genuine interest in, is Man City's Alexander Zinchenko. So having failed to qualify for the World Cup, despite putting in 2 classics in central midfield, according to Simon Collins, Arsenal and West Ham are now stepping up their interest in signing Zinchenko, with Arsenal offering him the chance to play more games in midfield, whereas West Ham look to play him at left back as competition for Aaron Cresswell. I don't see him going to West Ham if he's playing as a left back, because Zinchenko wants to play in central midfield, and to be fair, watching him play for Ukraine, he does have a lot of potential. As EBL says, Zinchenko is a top player as an 8 and as a fullback. He offers dynamism between the lines, in the second phase and out wide. He is press resistant in every situation and works the blocks superbly with his playmaking and his probing passing, and he also strikes through the ball. Out of all the other Arsenal players, that Arsenal have been linked to strengthen their midfield, Zinchenko is definitely the most interesting. But when you watch him play for Ukraine, where he often plays as that left-sided number 8, he seems to be almost a smaller, more agile version of a Granit Xhaka. The only thing that I would say that was holding Xhaka back as a number 8 is because he doesn't have the agility or doesn't have the lower centre of gravity to turn and be press resistant. When you then get Zinchenko, who is also left-footed and a bit shorter at 5'8", not only is he far more agile, but he's also able to turn. Keeping it on the midfielders, what about Brighton's Yves Bissouma? Well, Bissouma has recently shared these Instagram captions on a story that was posted by a fan, which says, "For me, I think Bissouma and Tielemans should be Arsenal's priority in midfield. We must get Bissouma at all cost." I think footballers understand how powerful social media is, and everything they like, they share, they retweet. Every fan will see it, and it is definitely going to go viral. He's playing with the Arsenal fans, and if anything, he's almost asking Arsenal, "Hey my friends, I'm available with 1 year left on my contract, and if you want to sign me, I'm not going to say no to it." Now, he's not a number 8 type of profile, but as a number 6, he has had some amazing games there for Brighton in the Premier League against some of the top teams as well. I myself would not be against signing Yves Bissouma. The player certainly might want to come, but what do you guys make of the Mali international? But moving on to the other Arsenal news today, and starting off with official confirmation of Arsenal's first game of pre-season, as Arsenal confirmed that at 4:30 on Friday the 8th of July at the Max Morlock Stadion, Arsenal will play FC Nuremberg. So just over 1 month away before Arsenal officially return in their first game of pre-season, and in that time, I think Arsenal have a lot of work to do. I want to see Arsenal secure as many signings as possible, because as we saw on the start of the last season, we only signed the likes of Tomiyasu and Ramsdale after the first 3 games. That really cost Arsenal, and we got 0 points out of possible 9. So this year, I want to see Arsenal learn from the mistakes, to sign the players and to be ahead of the curve, and it maximises the chances of adapting as soon as possible. And finally, according to the Scottish Sun, Kieran Tierney's potential Arsenal comeback has been penciled in for July the 8th. Sun Sport understands Tierney, out since a knee surgery in April, is making strong progress with his rehab. July the 8th coincides with Arsenal's first game in pre-season, so with Kieran Tierney being back for that, that's going to be massive. And going into next season, I would love to see Tierney have a fully fit 38 game season, but I also understand with the other games that Arsenal have, especially in Europe, it will be a tough ask, and therefore for Arsenal, it's going to be pivotal to get that proper backup left back that's better than Tavares, that's more reliable. If Arsenal are able to sign players like Aaron Hickey or even Alexander Zinchenko, then that would certainly suffice. But that is the video there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and if you have, make sure to go down there to smash a like and subscribe if you are new. If you would like to follow your boy on all of those social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. But that was the latest Arsenal transfer news today. Transfers FC is back in full effect. The window opens in I think 3 or 4 days time, and for Arsenal, it's time to get active and time to get busy. I will see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves, and in a bit.